Everybody, and welcome to the 30-day Health and Happiness Challenge with me, Amy Horne, and today is going to be all about staying consistent. So the chances are, if you've struggled with consistency in the past, you may have asked yourself the following question: why is it that I don't actually achieve the thing that I said that I was going to do? And that really is what consistency is. It's deciding you're going to do something and being consistent, taking those steps to move towards actually achieving what you guys want to achieve. So that is exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about consistency. If you've asked yourself this in the past, use the chat box, give us examples, but it's a really common thing. And people often ask themselves, why aren't I doing it? I know I want to do it. I really want those results. I really want to get to where I want to be. I want to achieve X, Y, and Z. But why am I literally just not doing it? What is stopping me? Okay, and if you've asked yourself that question, you're in the right place and you are totally normal. So a lot of the time, people often answer that question in their mind by saying things such as, because I lack motivation. So some people blame their own motivation. They blame their own discipline. They tell themselves they're not disciplined enough to be consistent. They lack drive. Again, they haven't got enough drive to be consistent and get to where they want to be. And just basically determination. So if you are saying those things to yourself, that's not the case. That really is not the case. It's not you. It's not your motivation. It's not your discipline. It's not your drive, and it's not your determination. So it's actually less about you and more about the following things. So I'm going to share with you tips and things that you guys can do to stay consistent and to achieve your goals without constantly blaming yourselves. We're going to move away from that blame, and we're going to move forwards with some real kind of easy things that we can put into place to actually achieve what we set out to do and to stop blaming ourselves. So first of all, I want to talk about pace. Now, quite often we struggle with consistency because the pace at which we expect to get somewhere is slower than we hoped, or maybe because we are going way too fast and it's something we can't keep up with long term. So if you've fallen before the finish line, you've probably gone a bit too quick. It's the typical tortoise and the hare situation. So if you make too many changes too quickly, it's going to be too uncomfortable. That pace is going to be unsustainable and you won't get to the finish line. Okay, some of you might have heard this analogy before, but my favorite way to explain this is when you look at a frog and when a frog goes into hot water. So if a frog goes into boiling water, it jumps straight back out and says, oh, no, I'm not going in that. It's too hot. But if you put a frog into nice lukewarm water and you cranked up the heat really, really slowly does it, that frog would actually stay in that pan until it boils to death. Not that I've tried this, but this is what I've heard. And it's a really interesting way to look at the pace at which you make change. So if you throw yourself into something that's too much, like, the frog was too hot, I'm going to retreat, I'm going to get out, I'm not going to do it, it was too much, you're not going to be able to stick to it and be consistent. Whereas if you introduce things nice and slowly, step by step, slow pace, you don't even notice them happening. So yeah, it's just a really nice way of well, it's not actually that nice, but it's an interesting way of looking at pace and how if you do things slowly, you don't notice those big changes as much. So yeah, when it comes to consistency, you guys need to keep your pace nice and slow. Implement things slowly, slow the pace, and you will get there in the long term, okay? The next thing I want to talk about is the actual system that you have in place, okay? So when I talk about a system, it's something that you do to achieve the outcome. So I am going to implement system A to achieve B. So it could be, for instance, I am going to achieve weight loss by attending a slimming club. Okay. Now, if you've tried that system before and it hasn't worked, it's not something that you guys should be trying over and over and over again, because quite simply, there is a flaw in that system. Okay. Now, the definition of insanity is actually just repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Unfortunately, if the system is flawed, you need to abandon it and you need to try and find something else, start a completely new system. So whatever that be, whatever that is in your life that you want to achieve, you need the right system in place to get to where you want to be. So please, guys, abandon old systems. They are not going to work for you. If you're trying to be consistent and get to where you want to be, your system is so incredibly crucial. Okay. All right. So after that, I want to talk about enjoyment. So a consistent effort to get to a desired outcome has to be something that you can stick to. And if you're going to stick to it, you're going to stick to it better if you enjoy it, aren't you? So whatever that is in life, I'm not even just talking about the gym or a diet. There needs to be kind of rewards. There needs to be happiness. There needs to be those lovely chemicals in our brain, dopamine, serotonin. There needs to be positivity around what we're going to do. So if we do things based on punishment, based on criticism, they're not going to be very enjoyable. Whereas when we approach things and enjoy them, and we do things with love and laughter and general happiness, it's going to be so much more easy for you to be consistent, just simply because you are enjoying it. So like, again, a typical example around food is like a diet. So if you really dislike a certain type of diet, but you do it because you want the outcome and it's unenjoyable, you're not going to be consistent at it. You need for something to be enjoyable. So what I mean by this mainly, guys, is if you want to be consistent at anything, you can't hate it. So if, for instance, even if you signed up to do HIIT and you don't look forward to it, you're nervous at the thought of it, you feel horrendous about it, go and find something else. That's okay. You can find, I don't know, a Zumba, get your body moving, really enjoy it. The same thing if you really dislike running, but you're just pounding the pavements in the effort to shed some pounds, don't do it. But you love swimming, go and sign up to a gym that's got a swimming pool, go swimming instead. As long as you're enjoying something, you will stick to it, and you will stick to the process of change because you enjoy it, and then you're going to be consistent. Okay, now this one's a really interesting topic, and it's something I find, amazing. And it comes down to our beliefs about ourselves and who we actually identify as. I have to sit and journal on it and really think about this and take some time to process it. But we identify ourselves as many things, and some of them are nice and simple. We identify as a mother, as a daughter, as a friend, as an auntie, as a, whatever you identify yourself as. Those things are quite simple, but we have much more deeper identities. So for instance, some people identify themselves as, due to their upbringing, that they are like poor, they're from kind of like council estates, and they don't ever believe that they can have an abundance of money. So they have a real identity of being a certain way. And, that happens when people really cling on to, I don't know, being the fat kid at school, and they hold on to this identity that I am the fat one of my friends. I am, the one that's unable to lose weight. I am just the big one. And what they really struggle with actually is doing things that go against their identity. So say, for instance, the person that thinks that they are basically poor, and they try and save money, they try and get out of debt, they try and do things to improve their financial situation. If deep down they identify as a poor, broke, whatever they call themselves, they're going to really struggle to accumulate money and to be the opposite, because still in their heart they identify as something completely different. And it comes down to alignment. So you're not aligning with what you say you are. And this is really interesting when it comes to people that go to the gym, that smoke. So an interesting one about identity, for instance, if I said to you, and you're a non-smoker, would you like a cigarette? And you said, oh, no, I'm a non-smoker. That's your identity. That's quite deep. That doesn't align. That's not who I am. That's not in alignment. So you instantly just say no, and you think nothing more of it. So it's very similar to, you know, do you want to sign up to a gym? Do you want to go to a gym class? Some people are quite black and white. No, I don't go to the gym. I am not a gym bunny. I am the fat one. I am, you know, the big girl from school. I am whatever people say they are, they hold on to that. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're trying to achieve something, you need to align with it. Your identity and how you feel about yourself needs to align with who you're trying to be, what you're trying to achieve. So this again is quite a deep one. It might take a lot of work, but you need to work on identifying as what you want to achieve, okay, ultimately. And again, it's an interesting one. And if you guys have any questions on this, I'm more than happy to chat with you about it afterwards. But it's an interesting one. All right. So I want to talk about goals as well. Now, sometimes people don't actually be consistent and stick to what they're saying they're going to do simply because their goals aren't set properly. They haven't really got an ideal goal. Now, you guys might have heard of goals. There's that reference, a SMART goal, and that's SMART. So specific. So their specific goal might not be quite specific enough, or it might not be very good. But a goal does need to be specific. I want to achieve this, is really the desired outcome. It needs to be measurable. So you need to be able to measure your goal. So from obviously where you are now to where you want to be, what is that measure? Okay, it needs to be achievable. So you need to obviously be able to achieve it. So, you know, if someone come up to me and said, I want to weigh 6 stone, obviously I'd be a bit, I'm not sure that's really very achievable. And it comes down to the next one as well, which is realistic. So goals need to be realistic, real results, really what you can do. So achievable and realistic are quite similar. And then finally, timeframes. So you need to give yourself a time frame to achieve a goal. And again, this comes down to pace. So actually, I always recommend that goals are really slowly paced and that you work on things over a much more longer period of time. So let's really think about what we want to be consistent at and set a SMART goal. So that could be a really good thing to do after this. SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time framed. So yeah, have a real good think about your goals and make sure they tick every one of those boxes, because it's a really important part of consistency. Cool. Okay, support. So I believe in the world that there are 2 types of people. There are fountains and there are drains. So I love this topic of conversation because quite instantly a lot of people tend to have a little bit of a, oh goodness, yeah, they really are. So I can really start to put people in this kind of category or this kind of category. Now, support is so important with consistency because if you're supported, you are so much more likely to achieve what you want to achieve because you obviously have that support. You're going to be feeling supported and able to get to where you want to be. So I always say, guys, surround yourself with fountains and start to put those real kind of boundaries in place with the drains in your life. Sometimes you can't get rid of the drains completely. You know, we've all got them, the people that say the wrong thing, the people that aren't quite as supportive as they should be and could be. But yeah, it's important to make sure that you understand the difference and that you only really take on the words, the kindness, the support from your fountains, from the people that are genuinely caring about you, and the ones that aren't, the ones that are draining you, aren't saying the right things, aren't really supportive, maybe they're a bit jealous of what you're trying to do, maybe that's actually what they want to do but they wouldn't admit it. The drains need those loving boundaries, unfortunately. We just need to kind of step back a little bit from those. Okay. All right, now this is a really interesting topic, and it's just simply knowledge, because with knowledge comes power, and what you don't know, you don't know. So you can apply this to anything. If you want to get good at anything, you have to know a lot about it. for instance, if I wanted to get into property development or something like that, I wouldn't just take my life savings and go and buy a little house down the road and do it up. That would be very mental. I would study. I would talk to people. I would absolutely make sure that the information I'm getting is, proven, effective, easy to understand. And I would take my time to get to know what I need to know so that I can achieve X, Y, and Z. So what I'm trying to say is, if you really want to be consistent and you want to consistently stick to something and get somewhere, that's great. You could have all the drive, all the determination, all the power, all the will, but if your knowledge is lacking, then you're just not going to get there anyway. So you have to know exactly what it is that you guys are doing. So, like, for instance, people that want to lose weight, they generally go towards a kind of low calorie, restrictive diet. They just basically eat less, move more. They end up with no energy. They feel really restricted, really deprived. They don't feel like they can stick to it. They feel really rubbish in themselves. Their metabolism drops. They then obviously feel like they can't stick to the diet, so they don't stick to the diet. They then go the other way and ends up putting on weight. And then they kind of repeat the process. Whereas actually, if this person were to take some time to really understand nutrition from much more of a kind of metabolic, cellular level, not even complex, really simple nutrition, you would have achieved so much more than this awful diet cycle roller coaster. So there's not enough knowledge in calories. And this is only one example, but if you're counting calories, you're not doing your body any favors at all. Moving away from calorie counting and really understanding nutrition and putting the goodness in your body will be the best thing ever. So that's just one example. There are so many different ways that you could obviously get cleverer and more knowledgeable about something so that you can get to where you want to be. So remember, guys, knowledge is so important, and make sure you guys get educated in the thing that you want to get consistently good at. Okay. The next one is coaches. So coaches have basically made all the mistakes for you. They have spent their time, their money, their energy, their effort making those mistakes and learning how to step forwards and basically get to where they want to be. So coaches are skilled individuals in certain subjects, and they know exactly how to help other people do the same. And that's quite simply what it is. So like I say, they're skilled at getting you through where you want to get to by taking action. So a coach will help you to actually take action, and they will hold you accountable against that action. So when you see your coach, when you meet your coach, when you talk to your coach will make sure that you are taking action. So again, all the knowledge is great, but if you haven't got a coach and you haven't got accountability, then things are quite hard to stick to. So if you have a coach helping you, you will get to where you want to be a lot easier, a lot faster, and it will save you all the time and the effort and the money and the mistakes of doing it yourself. So coaching and coaches can really help you to be consistent and to finally get to where you want to be. Okay, and have you really, so this quote about patience is so true, and I'm hoping you guys totally agree with it. Patience is not the ability to wait, but to keep a good attitude whilst you're waiting. Okay, so patience is one thing, isn't it? But having that positive attitude to keep moving towards your goals, keep waiting, and just keep nurturing that achievement that you want, having that real kind of mindset, attitude, positivity, that happiness to continue. That is what I mean by patience. When we lose patience and when we lose that attitude, that is when we're not consistent, and we throw it all, what I call, in the effort bucket, and we say, couldn't do it. And a lot of the time that's because you could have been a bit more patient. Don't get me wrong, patience can be a difficult thing, especially when you have young children, but patience is such an amazing skill. So again, it's the attitude that you have whilst you wait for something that is key. All right. So obviously those, topics are all really, really interesting. And ultimately, what I want to do today is share with you the fact that I am here to help you. So if you need help with any of those things, they are exactly what I specialize in. I specialize in mindset and getting people to where they want to be. Again, I am a coach, and I'm going to talk to you guys just briefly on everything that I do so that you can come away from this feeling really inspired, knowing exactly what's on offer, and you guys can make the decision. If you want to work with me, I would absolutely love to help you. It's my favorite thing to do, is to get people to where they want to be. So first of all, I offer coaching myself. My coaching is specializing in nutrition, in mindset, and in health. So if you are struggling to implement things, if you're finding that you are not being held accountable, you're not being given the right information, and you want to improve your nutrition, you want to improve your mindset, you want to improve your health, then I would absolutely love to help you with coaching. I offer coaching one-to-one, and I also offer coaching online and face-to-face. So if that's something you're interested in, please reach out. I also offer personal training, which is again, face-to-face or on Zoom, and also small group personal training for up to 3 people, which is a really, really affordable way of getting into some personal training sessions. Other things I offer are group workouts locally, indoors, outdoors, baby friendly, lots of, again, positive vibes. It's really fun, it's really energetic. And, like I said about enjoyment, honestly, my passion is people enjoying exercise. So if I can come away from a workout and people have smiles on their faces and they're chatting to me at the end and they've had a really great time, then I know that I've done a good job. And yeah, I just love group workouts. So yeah, locally, indoors and outdoors, I offer lots of group fitness classes. I offer a lot of online services, mainly workouts. So if you want some online workouts, I would love to help you. I also offer online nutrition courses. So this comes back to the education I spoke about earlier. If you're feeling like, okay, I really want to get educated on nutrition, it doesn't have to be difficult. It's not, brain surgery type nutrition. It's literally really simple, easy to implement knowledge that will just move you away from calorie counting and get you understanding exactly what and how to implement really healthy nutrition. And then finally, I also offer mindset courses. So I offer coaching and courses on mindset. I again offer coaching and courses on hormones, and then the same with food relationships. So if you have a bit of a poor relationship with food, I can help you with that as well. And then finally, the last thing I want to talk to you about is my signature 10-week course, which is my 10 course, TEN, 10-week signature transformation course, which focuses on nutrition and exercise and lifestyle and mindset. So it incorporates everything. Again, you can do this online, you can do this in face-to-face in Colchester. The reason this works and the reason it's been so successful for, how long have we been going? Over 5 years now, is because all of the things I've spoke about in this seminar is exactly what 10 involves. So the pace is really slow. We don't throw you in at the deep end. We simmer you like that frog so that you can stick to everything that you learn. The system is proven. It works. It is going to work. The theory, the education, the system, the science, everything's there for you. All the hard work's been done. I've learned so much and put it all into this 10-week course. Again, it's enjoyable, it's fun, it's food that you're going to enjoy, and yeah, nice short workouts that really fit into your life. And then finally, you get the coaching, so you get me coaching you, but you also get the support and the community. So you have all the accountability, everything that you need. So my 10 course is available online and face-to-face, and I would absolutely love to help you. So if you guys have any questions about how I can help you, I'd love to offer you guys a free consultation. You can chat to me on the phone or you can meet me face-to-face. I have a private gym in Dedham, and you are more than welcome to come and have a little chat with me anytime. So anyone watching this video, whether it's online, live now with me, or if it's on replay, please reach out. I'm going to pop my email address in the comments so that you guys can email me and we can organise a consultation. Again, I'm so passionate about helping people, so I hope you guys can see and feel that, and I really, really would love to help you guys to achieve your long-term health and fitness goals through, again, nutrition, mindset, and overall health. So thank you so much for coming, guys. I've loved having you, and this has been the 30-day Health and Happiness Challenge with me, Amy Horne, and this has been